if you're in your 40s and 50s and you feel like what we normally call midlife crisis, I want to tell you something that might sound strange. Actually, it's not a crisis. You are right on schedule. There are 4 predictable stages of midlife transition. And the reason nobody talks about them is because we call the whole thing a crisis and treat it like something is wrong with you. But it's not a crisis. I would say it's a developmental stage. It's like a puberty. It's a stage when you feel awkward, confusing, and it's quite painful, but I think it's necessary. I'm going to walk you through all 4 stages, and I'm going to show you exactly where you are, because once you know where you are in the process, you stop panicking, you stop thinking you're broken, and you start understanding what you're supposed to be doing right now. I'm 49 years old, and I think in my early 40s, my life started, I would say, unraveling, and that's what it felt like. Like everything I had built was coming undone, and I just couldn't stop it. And I just kept thinking, is this it? Is this all there is? But what I realized that there is actually a pattern, a sequence, stages that almost everyone go through in their 40s. Because if you have friends around that age, you kind of see that pattern. And when I mapped my experience onto these stages, everything kind of clicked. And here are 4 stages. The stage 1 is the disruption, and typically probably between the ages of 40 to 44. Stage 2, the wilderness, and also between the ages of 44, 48. And stage 3, the experimentation, between the ages of 48, 52. And stage 4, the integration, typically ages 52 and plus. So these age brackets are rough. Some people hit this probably earlier, maybe, late 30s, some late or maybe early 50s. It's not about the number, it's about the pattern. And here, and what matters is each stage has its own emotional landscape, its own tasks, its own way you are supposed to move through it. And if you don't know which stage you are in, you will keep trying to do the wrong things and you will stay stuck. So let me walk you through all 4. And as I describe them, you will probably recognize where you are. Just notice what feels familiar. So the stage 1, which we call the disruption. So this is when I think you start feeling kind of cracks appearing in your life, when the identity you built in your 20s, your 30s, you start feeling that's not fitting anymore. You might be successful by every external measure. You have probably a good job, nice house, stable relationship. You checked all the boxes. You did everything right, and yet something is off. And there is a question that keeps coming up, usually probably late at night. Is this all there is? And the disruption stage is subtle. Most people don't even realize they are in it. They think they are just stressed and tired and need a vacation. So they try to fix it with surface solutions, buy something, take a trip, start a new hobby. But the restlessness doesn't go away because it's not about external circumstances. It's about internal alignment or the lack of it. Then something happens, and it does happen in life. Sometimes it's just small, or it could be your health scare, a friend's divorce, someone dies, you get passed over a promotion, and suddenly the question you have been avoiding kind of pops up again. What am I doing with my life? That's when stage 1 ends and stage 2 begins. If you are in stage 1, here is what you need to know. The restlessness is not a problem. It's a signal. And listen to it. Don't fix it. Don't medicate it. Don't distract yourself from it. Just notice it, because it's trying to tell you something important. Now stage 2, what we call the wilderness. And this is where most people think they're having a breakdown. This is the stage where your old life stops working, but you don't have a new life yet. You are in between and feel lost. Everything you used to find meaningful feels meaningless now. Maybe your job, your achievements, like it happened to me, all my achievements one day just looked just meaningless. I'm just like, why did I do this? And the worst part, you don't know what you want instead. And people ask you, what do you want to do? And you have no idea. Your mind goes blank, or it fills with 100 possibilities and none of them feels right, or you're jumping from one thing to another. This is a stage where you might do something impulsive. You may leave your job without a plan. Some people end a marriage or move across the country, buy a motorcycle, have an affair. And not because you are crazy, but because you are desperate to feel something, to break out of numbness, to prove you're still alive. The wilderness stage is terrifying because there are no clear answers. You can't think your way through it. You can't make a pro or con list. You can't logic yourself into clarity. You are kind of in the fog, and the only way out is through it. And what's happening underneath, your old identity is dying, and your new identity hasn't been born yet. And that gap, that's wilderness. And it's supposed to be uncomfortable because you're not supposed to stay here, but you can't skip it either. The task of stage 2 is not to figure everything out. It is to learn to tolerate not knowing, not being uncertain, to sit in the discomfort without trying to fix it prematurely. And most people can't do this. They panic. They grab into the first answer that presents itself just to escape the uncertainty. They make big decisions from fear and not clarity. And then they regret them because decisions made in the wilderness rarely stick. You are not stable enough yet. You are in survival mode. And here is what I learned. The wilderness is not a mistake. It's a necessary stage. You have to let the old identity die before the new one can emerge. And the death process is painful. There is a grief in it, real grief. You are mourning the person you were, the life you had, the dreams probably that didn't happen, the time you can't get back. And if you're in stage 2 right now, here is what I want you to hear. Don't make big decisions yet. Not career, not relationship, not geographic, just wait. I know that's hard. I know you want answers. You want to do something. But the task right now is to be with the uncertainty, to let yourself not know, to allow the old identity to fall away without rushing to replace it. What you can do, you can journal, you can just take your walks, talk to people who have been through this, sit in nature, let yourself feel the feelings without having to fix them. This stage doesn't last forever, but it lasts as long as it needs to. Usually 2 to 4 years, and I know that sounds like forever, but you can't skip it. The wilderness is where the real transformation actually happens. Even though it feels like nothing is happening, even though it feels like you are just lost, you are not lost, you are becoming. And stage 3 is the experimentation. This is when the fog starts to lift. You start to notice what pulls you, what lights you up, what you want to explore. And here is the key. You start trying things, not committing, not making permanent decisions, just experimenting. You take a class, you start maybe a side project, you reconnect with an old interest, you try in new community, you have conversations with people doing interesting things. You're just kind of gathering data about yourself, about what's possible and what resonates. The experimentation stage is playful. There is energy again, not the driven kind of grinding energy of your 30s, 20s, a lighter energy. There is a curiosity, openness. You give yourself permission to be a beginner again. And slowly, a new identity starts to form. Not fully, you not just one day have a new identity, but you can feel it. You are discovering what you're becoming. What's happening underneath is your psyche is testing options, trying on new identities, seeing what fits. And this is an active development, not just passive waiting. The task of stage 3 is to say yes to small experiments. A lot of people skip this stage. They go from, they want to go from the wilderness straight to trying to lock down a new identity. There is, like most of us, I think we are impatient. For me, stage 3 started around probably early 40s or mid 40s, just processing what I had been going through. I started listening to my heart more than rationalizing everything and going with my logic. That's where I started kind of even distinguishing between my my logic with my distinguishing between my logic and my heart. And I don't think I have figured everything out yet, but I could feel it and I know what my heart wants now. It's kind of like you feel a pull and a bit of a direction, and that's a stage 3. If you're in stage 3, here is your work. Say yes to more things. Small experiments, low stakes. Follow what's interesting even if you don't know where it leads. Don't commit too fast. Don't lock yourself into a new identity prematurely. Just explore. This stage is about possibility, not certainty. And stage 4, it's an integration. This is when your new identity solidifies. You have experimented enough, you have gathered enough data, and now you know, not perfectly, but clearly enough to commit. You make a decision, not from fear or desperation, but from clarity, from alignment. Maybe you change careers, or maybe you don't, but you approach your work completely differently. Maybe you restructure your relationships, maybe you move, maybe you launch something new, but it's not impulsive, it's integrated, it's built on the foundation of the previous 3 stages. The integration stage is where you start living as your new identity. You are not pretending anymore, you are not performing, you are just being who you actually are now, and you're stepping fully into who you are becoming. And what's happening underneath, the developmental work is complete. At least this, I guess, the cycle of it. You have transitioned, you are on the other side. And the task of stage 4 is to commit, to build, to live your new identity fully, not halfway. I'm not fully in stage 4, I think, yet. I'm in late stage 3, moving into 4, and I can feel it. The clarity is coming, the path is becoming obvious, but I needed those years in the wilderness. I needed the experimentation. I couldn't have just jumped from disruption to integration. I would have just recreated the same life with different props. And if you feel you are in stage 4, congratulations, you made it through, you did the hard work. Now your job is to live it fully and without any apology. And this week, one thing you can do, write down which stage you think you are in. Then write down what that stage requires from you. So name your stage, accept it, and do the work that stage requires. And that's how you move forward, not by forcing it, but aligning with where you actually are. And if you are in this transition right now, in any stage, I want you to know you are not alone and you are not broken. You are in one of the most important developmental periods of your life. So figure out where you are, name your stage, and do the work that stage requires. I'm creating a whole series on navigating midlife, the framework, the stages, the actual journey. And if this helped you, subscribe, so we are going deep on this together.